What's up? What's up? Just left All In Meals, working on some really good stuff with them. I have recently become their go-to nutrition specialist. So they do offer not only pre-made meals to help fit any lifestyle, but they also offer nutritional coaching. And so I've been fortunate enough to be able to partner with them and have them utilize my coaching services to help people reach their goals. And I'm able to do so by effectively incorporating all of their meals along with optional options outside of their meals. So you don't have to just eat their meals. But if you're going to and you want to reach your goals, I can let you know which meals would work best alongside meals that you can make on your own. So just had a really good meeting with them. Got set up with one of their new sneak meals, sneak peek at one of their new meals that they are getting ready to roll out. I can't talk too much about that until it happens, but a lot of good things on the way. So I think this is something that for the nutrition business and coaching side of things is really going to help. I think we can help a lot of people. We're working at taking on more than just individuals and working with a couple of organizations, partnering with them and allowing more access to additional clientele that way. So things have been really good. Outside of that, just training as usual, trying to get strong as food. Um, Goals for the end of the month. Today is January 21st. And my goal for the end of the month is to squat 465 pounds, deadlift 465 pounds, and bench, or excuse me, squat 405, dead 405, and bench 405, all for reps. I know I can get squats at that weight for probably 10 to 12. I did 455 for 8 after doing 405 for 10 yesterday. I know I can get deads 405 for about 10 to 12, so that shouldn't be a problem, but I don't normally barbell bench. And right now, my bench is 125 for 12 to 14 with dumbbells. So I'm curious to see how that transitions to barbell. I'm not going to be dumb about it. I don't want to tear anything. So as I move up incrementally, I will be switching over to barbell to get some work in with that and see how the strength does translate. And if it doesn't feel that good, then I'm not going to attempt it. But the goal again at the end of the month is 405 across the board and in succession. So I'm going to bench, squat, and deadlift one after another. So one set of each and hopefully that should hit my numbers that I'm looking for. And then I'm going to transition into a little bit more of a volume phase. A lot of this has been strength based, um, staying in about the 8 to 10 rep range. So high intensity, low volume. And it's been awesome. I've been making a ton of progress. Food's been good, and everything's in a really good spot. Body composition's really good right now for being 218, 220 pounds. This is week 2 of, I don't really call it a mini cut because I only plan on doing it for 2 weeks. So it's more of like a reset, and then a lot of it's just to help digestion. So what I've been doing is I'll push for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then I'll pull back for about 2 weeks. So I've removed about 5 to 700, depending on the day, 5 to 700 calories, primarily through carbohydrates. I like to keep the fats high and the protein high when I do these, but just give the digestion, bring down inflammation, some of those sorts of things by pulling out a lot of carbohydrates and really just putting carbs around pre and post workout, and then a little bit sprinkled throughout the day just to kind of keep blood sugar levels fairly even. So that's kind of my ideology. It's not something I do a lot with clients. Usually, if they're in a progressive state or a bulk, we'll push it until we need to just pull back for a few weeks, usually 3 to 4, sometimes 6, and then push the food again. But I've just been playing around with like these miniature mini cuts, the mini cuts, or as I call them, resets. And my body's been been doing really well. I found just by clearing out some of the food, I don't drop a ton in weight, but there's definitely better visibility, more lines. I think it's just giving the digestion a break, kind of resetting insulin sensitivity, which has been really good. You guys know me, you know I love my cookies, and uh, about 2 hours postprandial, so after eating cookies, about 10 to 12 ounces of cookies, and then usually Greek yogurt with some berries. I'm about 115 to 120, which is a really good blood glucose to be at for that amount of sugar. Even after an hour, I'm at about 130, so it drops pretty well. But I found that by doing these mini resets, it's just allowed my insulin sensitivity to stay high the entire way through. So I'm going to play around with it a little bit more and see if it's something I might start incorporating with my competitive clients at the very least. But I think it could have some good results for some of my lifestyle clients too. So anyway, back to work. And then this afternoon, I got a couple of training clients and we are hitting back. I'm going to bring you guys along for that. Today is heavy dead day. Yesterday was heavy squat. So I've been breaking my workouts. Instead of doing a full leg day, I'll put 1 to 2 leg movements at the end of either chest, back, or shoulders. So I'm hitting legs essentially 3 times a week, 1 or 2 movements, and going very heavy. So again, yesterday was heavy squat. I worked up to 465 after doing 405. Today's deads. I'll probably work up to about the same. I'll see if we can't push closer to 480 based off of the numbers I had last week. And so it's been working very well. For strength, when I get into the volume, I'll go back to having a full leg day, but this has just helped with better recovery in my legs instead of taxing them and trying to do squats and deads both in the same day and just being wrecked for like a week or at least 3 to 4 days. I can do this and then recover a little bit better, since quad focus movement with a little bit of glute, and then today's more of a hamstring low back movement. So it just allows me to be more refreshed each time that I'm hitting my legs instead of taxing it all at once. So anyways, that's what we got going on. I'll jump back on and catch you guys when we head to the gym.
All right, so we're starting this back day off with some bent over barbell rows. Started out with one plate, so 135, really just focusing on driving the elbows back. And then we will work our way up to about, I think it was 2 plates and a quarter. But right here, just warming up, getting a good feel for things. Lately, the way that I've been utilizing my sets is I'll do 6 to 8, sometimes 10 to 12, just kind of moving until the movement feels good, and then I stop for the warm up. Then I'll add a couple. So right here, we've got another plate on. This is 225, and again, just feeling the movement out. I think I do like 6 to 8 on this one, and then I'm ready to move up. So I've been keeping the intensity high with the volume relatively low. So I try to get into my working sets as quick as possible, with utilizing the least or taking up the least amount of energy. So yeah, we end up top set, 2 plates and a 25 on each side. You can see form starting to break down a little bit. I'm throwing a little bit of English in there, which honestly is okay. It doesn't have to stay super strict. I kind of wanted to just make sure I finished out that last one. And then we get into seated rows, and this is a low row. And again, just warming up. Biggest thing on this exercise is really focusing on driving the elbows back. A lot of times people will break their wrist, and you can see my wrist stays in the exact same position. I really just like to use the cue of the wrists are a hook. So in this exercise, think of your wrist as a hook, and you can see how the wrist stays straight. It's just the elbow that gets driven back. A lot of times people will break or bend the wrist, and it does not allow you to move your elbows back as deep as you need to get them. To really feel this exercise, you have to take your elbows past your midline as far as possible. And that's what's really going to contract the lat. You can see I'm trying to keep my chest flat to the pad. Obviously, my shoulder has to come off a little bit in order for me to move, but I'm not really torquing to that other side. I'm letting my elbow do all of the work. And that's really what you want to do in these, is just make sure that the elbow is what's being driven back and you're not twisting or turning your shoulder. All right, and then here we got 405 on deads. I had already done my warm-up sets, I should say. So this was the top set. I actually ended up going, I think, another 60 pounds above this, which I probably shouldn't have. I could move the weight, it just didn't feel right. And I kind of tried to push through and ended up pulling my QL. And then last movement of this workout is just this isolated back row. And I really like these because you can get the stretch deep, and because it's on a cable, you have tension going both concentric and eccentric. All right, we just are leaving the gym now. I had a client, had a solid leg workout with her. We are now headed home. Phone's about to die, watch is about to die. 6 o'clock, I've been up and running since 4 a.m. I'll probably do like a day in the life tomorrow, or at least kind of show people or show you guys my morning routine. I gotta pull out of here and make sure I don't get obliterated. But I'll probably show you what that looks like. But been up since about 4 a.m. and we are finally headed home. I wish to share one of these days. I will show you guys the chaos that ensues when I get home of being with the kids, but I absolutely love it. Anyway, long day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.